Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Kendall Jones joining us live today on the podcast and Zoomcast. She's the owner of Arctic Blast Cryo, and it's based out of Mason, Ohio. And we're excited to talk to her today about all these type of treatments that can help with, listen up, age, stress, injury, and so much more. So first and foremost, welcome to the show. How are you, Kendall?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How's the weather in Mason, Ohio?
A little gloomy, rainy on and off, cooler today. So,
same here.
I guess that's, I know.
It's the time of year. Well, excited to have you. And I need to tell everyone how we can contact you. So let me start off with the website. Would you mind sharing?
Sure. It's arcticblastcryo.com. That's arcticblastcryo.com.
Perfect. And just a little overview about the company and what it is you do before we dive into a little more details about you.
Sure. We do whole body cryotherapy in Mason, Ohio. So whole body cryotherapy treatments, localized spot treatments, cryofacials, red light healing, fat reduction treatments, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, hold on, because this really is beneficial to so many people, whether you are in good health or not in good health. I've heard so much about cryotherapy. And just let me ask, for starters, people may not know, what is cryotherapy to start?
So cryotherapy, it looks like a big stand-up tanning bed. You stand in it for a maximum of 3 minutes, and it gets down to anywhere from negative 150 to negative 225 degrees. But what it does is it forces that vasoconstriction, so all the blood goes to your core and rushes through your main organs. And then afterwards is when the magic happens, so it flushes fresh oxygenated blood back through your system, as well as healing nutrients. So it expedites healing, decreases inflammation, burns 500 to 800 calories, decreases anxiety, improves sleep, all kinds of stuff. It's great.
Oh my goodness. And I got to now find out, how did you discover this? Tell me a little bit of your background.
Well, I was a nurse for 7.5 years at Cincinnati Children's Hospital a long time ago. I got married in 2004, so I loved children's. I was on the cardiac unit. That was my passion. But as soon as we got back from our honeymoon, we moved to Northwest Arkansas and moved quite a bit after that. So I never really went back to nursing. And then once we got back to Cincinnati for good, we were looking at things to do once our kids got into school full time, or I was looking for something to do. And we have friends in Columbus that were going to a cryotherapy spa there. And they said, open a cryo spa in Cincinnati. There are none. Like, oh, that's a great idea. But I have 3 small kids. My husband travels every week. How are we going to make that happen? But here we are 8.5 years later, and it worked.
Oh, my goodness. Well, congratulations. Wait, how old are the kids?
Now they're a sophomore in college, senior in high school, and a sophomore in high school. Back then, they were 1st, 3rd, and 5th grade.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I have a 7 and 9-year-old. I get it. Wow. So now let me ask, there's an amazing science behind cryotherapy that I've read about, and I want to know more from you, our expert here. But when did you decide to, open your own business like this? This is exciting.
It is exciting. It was very nerve-wracking. It took them my husband and my friends, about 6 months to convince me, just because I was a nurse. I was not an entrepreneur. Uh-huh. And just through many years in the business, I've learned to be my own entrepreneur and business person. So it's been kind of fun to grow and learn.
Oh my goodness.
As the years have passed.
And now, what year did you open this up?
2015.
Okay.
So it's almost 9 years.
Wow. Congrats. And during the pandemic, was that a little difficult for you, I'm sure?
Oh, yeah. We closed down for 6 weeks. Watched the bank account go low, but just had my loyal clients that were ready to come back when I could open.
Beautiful. Well, let's get started and talk exactly about cryotherapy and a little bit about the science behind it. Like, I was reading on your website. So let's talk about this. Who discovered it? Some doctor in Japan, right?
So yes, Dr. Yamaguchi in Japan created cryotherapy back in 1978 for his rheumatoid arthritis patients. And he got such great results that it's been in Europe for 50 plus years. Their physicians prescribe it for chronic pain conditions like arthritis, fibromyalgia. MS patients have been getting great benefits from it, but they also prescribe it for patients that are trying to expedite their healing from surgeries and injuries, those that need to improve their energy and sleep levels, and athletes, and it's great for everybody.
Oh my goodness. And so for overall health and wellness, there's what? Persistent pain, inflammation, those of us with immune system function disorders, that helps too?
Yes, by decreasing the inflammation, improving circulation, improving the oxygenation in the blood, getting all of those healing nutrients flushing through your system.
Wow.
It is really awesome.
Oh my goodness. And even for anxiety and depression. I never heard of this before. How many sessions do we need?
Well, it depends on you. I never know. I always, everybody's so individualized. I have clients that come in for one reason and say, hey, I'm a pretty anxious person. And after my first, second, or third session, I noticed I wasn't as anxious. Does it do that? I said, well, yes, because it releases those endorphins right after, which gives you the adrenaline boost, the mood enhancing hormones to help improve your energy and decrease anxiety, improve your mood. It's awesome.
And for weight loss, okay, tell me about this.
So it burns 500 to 800 calories because your body's working so hard while you're in the cryosauna. It puts you into, well, I don't like to say this for my first time clients before they do it, but it puts you into a hypothermic state. So by your body flushing all that blood to your core and just trying to keep things going, and then afterwards the vasodilation, flushing everything back through your system, that burns a lot of energy.
Wow. Okay, well, let's also discuss the benefits for those that are, doing sports or training or just very athletic, right? And they need to, they're overworking their bodies. This is something that they go, people come to you constantly for, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of athletes that come in. It helps with the muscle recovery by decreasing the inflammation. It can help prevent injuries because we keep that inflammation low. By doing it consistently, it improves energy and endurance so they can run longer, harder, lift stronger, whatever sport they're doing. It really helps to accelerate their progress.
And what about their injuries and stuff? People that come in with injuries, this could help, decrease the amount of repair time, or it's helping repair. How does that work with the muscles? Is something that's wrong from a strain like that for a sports injury?
Right. So it really helps to expedite the healing because it's flushing everything with that fresh oxygenated blood and those healing nutrients. So it's going to speed up the healing time from those injuries.
Wow. Okay. This is awesome because I've heard about this, didn't know much about it, and now you're teaching me. Arctic Blast Cryotherapy. That's arcticblastcryo.com. You can reach out there. And of course, on social media, where do we send them to?
I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those fun social media sites.
Now, this is one thing I need to ask about. How does it work? Explain it to us. How cold is it? How long do we go into it for? And what type of chamber is it? Is it like standing up? Are we laying down? And how many sessions do you need? Explain the process.
Okay. So when I have a client that walks in, the first thing they do is we make sure that they're completely dry. Damp is not good in a cryotherapy sauna. We don't want burns. So we make sure they're dry. They can change their socks. They put on swim boots. Shorts and t-shirts are great to wear into the cryosauna. They don't need complete skin exposure, which is awesome.
Okay.
When they get in, I have the sauna pre-cooled, so their head is above the top of the sauna, so they're looking out. I talk to them the whole time. It gets down really cold. They go through that vasoconstrictive process about halfway through, a minute and a half. They start feeling prickly, tingly, which is good. That's what we want. That's also when they have to fight through that fight or flight moment. And then the longer we can keep them in, closer to 3 minutes, the more they're going to feel the benefits. As far as how many sessions, I really don't know. I have clients that come in the first time and I tell them, you may not feel anything today. It may be that second, third, fourth session that you feel benefits. And they'll finish and say, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. My knee doesn't hurt as much. I'm like, that's great. Hopefully it lasts a couple hours. It could last a couple days. I never know. And just get back in before you start feeling the pain wear off. Most of my clients come in sometimes once a week. Some of them come in 2 or 3 times a week, and some come in every day.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is great because so many people can benefit from this. And now, even if you don't have an injury, what about, someone just like me or like a mom or a dad wants to come in? It overall improves your health. And I read something about it helping collagen. Is that true? Because, we lose that. We lose that early.
Oh. Right. It's terrible. So it does help to improve collagen production. And depending on what my clients are coming in for, if they're worried about collagen production in their face, I have cryofacials that help increase collagen production. I have the red light facial that helps increase collagen production. So I have other treatments besides just whole body cryo that helps improve all of that.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is great because anti-aging and skin and all that, it's like, and you have this,
all the craze now.
Right? And you have this at the tip of your hands, which is amazing. And let me just also talk about, you mentioned, there's different type of units that people are using to do this, but you have one in particular that, what is it called? The Octagon?
Yes.
Tell me about that. I heard that's like one of the best, or it is the best.
It is. It's one of the first cryotherapy spas that was created in the United States. Oh. Your head's, like I said, above the top. Some of them they just use a cold, they don't use liquid nitrogen to create the cold. This one uses liquid nitrogen, so it gets really, really cold in the cryosauna. Ooh. But your head's above the top, which is really nice. For people that are claustrophobic, it's much easier to get through than looking through a window in the steam and not talking to anybody. I'm talking to you the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And what other services do you provide there?
So I do the localized spot treatment and the cryofacial. That I use a piece of equipment that delivers air that comes out of a hose that's negative 22 degrees.
Wait, what? So wait, hold on, slow down. The cryofacial at negative 20. Tell me how that. What is?
It sounds terrible, but it's not.
No, this is awesome. I'm excited to hear about this. What? I love facial. So tell me. I never heard of a cryofacial.
Right. So it just blows the cold air on your face. It helps to improve collagen production. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It's great to help clear up acne. It tightens things up, gives you a glow. It feels amazing. And it also helps if you have puffy eyes. It helps decrease the inflammation.
Wow. What would seem to be some of the most complications with this process, and how do you know if you're a candidate? Let's go over the medical aspect, and of course if there are any dangers with it, or how do you screen your patients?
So with whole body cryotherapy, I have a waiver form they need to fill out. Some of the biggest contraindications are deep vein thrombosis. So any clotting disorders, we usually say no because the cryotherapy can dislodge the clot. So that's not very good. Any cardiac problems, it depends on what the cardiac problem is. They say if you've had a previous heart attack, they don't want you to do cryotherapy within 6 months of that. I usually like to steer 6 months to a year, depending on if they had bypass surgery or what they had done, just to make sure they're completely healed from that. If they have any kind of arrhythmia problem, which is a cardiac problem, it depends on the arrhythmia, but I typically say no because it puts a big strain on the heart, and we don't want to do that.
Oh my goodness. Well, hold on one second. Let's remind everyone how we can reach you. Please, if you don't mind, share all forms of contact, phone number, website, social media. Thank you so much.
Of course. So my website is arcticblastcryo.com, arcticblastcryo.com. My phone number is 513-486-3716. My email is arcticblastcryo@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Great. Now, what else do you want your listeners to know about you and your services?
So one of the biggest things is with my medical background, cryotherapy technicians don't have to have a medical background.
Okay.
having one helps.
Yeah.
I had a client in the other day. She did whole body cryo. She did the boots. She's a consistent client. When she was walking out the door, she said, my leg is a little inflamed. And I looked at it and it was discolored. I'm like, I am not letting you do whole body cryo until you go have that looked at to make sure you don't have a clot. She went yesterday. She has a blood clot. So it's like just having that knowledge of, whoa, your leg is inflamed. It is discolored. You need to go have it checked out. Whereas, if I don't have a medical background, I don't know to look into things deeper.
Yeah.
So I care about my clients. I care about them feeling better. That I was a nurse to help people. I'm doing this to help people. And it's very gratifying for me to see my clients succeed and feel better and heal and do all that fun stuff.
Oh, my goodness. And again, your medical background in nursing clearly must help with this too. And wow, where did you go to school for nursing? Could you tell me a little bit about your passion, obviously, to help people? Where did this all come from? Tell me a little bit of your backstory.
I guess I've always liked to help people, even growing up when I was little. I went to University of Cincinnati and got my RN-BSN degree from there and started at Cincinnati Children's Hospital right out of school back in, oh my gosh, like 96. So I was there from 1996 to 2004. I was a floor nurse for 2.5 years on the cardiac unit. Then I was charge nurse on that floor for 2.5 years. And then I went to electrophysiology. So I worked in the clinic with pacemakers, defibrillators. I was in the cath lab with ablations, in the OR with implants. It was awesome. I loved it.
Wow. And doing this now, oh my goodness. This is, the benefits of this. You must love helping people with this. And what would you say makes your services unique? I mean, I don't know if there's any other place, your area that people can go to, but what makes you all stand out?
So, we have quite a few cryo spas that have opened up since we opened. Some things that make us unique. We've been here the longest. I call us the dinosaur of the area. My medical background helps. And my fat reduction equipment, I'm one of about probably 50 or 60 locations in the whole U.S. that have this piece of equipment that combine 2 fat reduction treatments into one. So it does EMS, electrical muscle stimulation, as well as cryolipolysis at the same time, which is awesome.
Tell us about that. Go ahead. What is it called?
Cryo EMS. So EMS is electrical muscle stimulation. So it stimulates your muscles to contract, which builds and tones them. Mm-hmm. It breaks up the deeper fat cells, burns those away, and pushes the subcutaneous fat cells to the surface to be frozen away by cryolipolysis. So it does the EMS, or the EMS and the cryolipolysis.
Oh my goodness. And how many treatments do you need for that?
It depends on you. I always hope that someone comes in, they're on their health journey, they just have a couple more inches to lose. We help kind of jumpstart if they're plateaued. We help to jumpstart them and continue their weight loss journey. It just depends on the client. Some people have fat that's really hard to get rid of, and others have fat that just kind of melts away. It's great.
Oh my.
Most of my clients lose about 1/4 of an inch to an inch walking out the door, but not always. Not always. It depends on the person.
And how many sessions do you normally do for that?
Anywhere from 1 to 3 if they just have a couple inches to lose. If they just have a goal they're trying to get to, sometimes it's 3 to 5. It depends on them.
Oh my goodness. Well, then there's also part of your services. You also have membership deals. Could you share a little bit about that?
So yes, I have memberships and I have packages. The membership, the way it works is it charges a certain amount on the same day every month. And then when they come in to do services, if they're just doing one service, they pay $15. If they're doing 2 services, it's $22.50. If they're doing 3, then it is $27.50.
Got it.
Or 25, I'm sorry, 25.
And what about, children? Are children allowed in this, or what's the age limit or range for the machine?
I don't like to go younger than 9 or 10.
Okay.
It's also about the size of the child and whether or not they can fit into the cryosauna. I have so many other services that are really beneficial, especially for the younger folks. If they come in with just a sprained ankle or a pulled back, I can do the localized spot treatment on that, and it works wonders for them.
And the localized spa treatment, if you don't mind sharing how that works, because is that I've seen like a machine, like with it's got like a tube on it. Is that like when and it comes out of there, the cold comes out of there, and you could spot treat.
Yep.
So, for
Yep,
example, someone who has like carpal tunnel, is that help for that?
It is great for that, yeah. And I just localize it. The air that comes out of that hose, it's the same piece of equipment I use for the cryofacial. It's negative 22 degrees. So it's a 10-minute treatment that I localize on that area.
Wow. Well, could you tell me, some of the client testimonials and results? What are people saying? What do they love coming to you for? I would love to hear, some of the positive outcomes from these sessions.
Yeah. So I have clients that come in with chronic pain that are just amazed that they get a little bit of a relief even after their first session. They've tried everything. They don't think this is going to work. They think it's a hoax. And then once they start feeling the results, they're like, wow, that's amazing. I have a lot of clients that come in that are just loyal because I care and I'm all about education. I want them to know each treatment they're doing and what it's doing in their body. So they realize that there is some scientific data behind it and it's not just like a placebo effect.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now hold on. Is it true that you could even stimulate hair growth with this?
Yes, with a cryofacial, it does stimulate hair growth. It stimulates the hair follicles. So of course, it depends on why the client has hair loss. It's not going to grow a full head of hair. I have had clients that have come in and have noticed that their hair's a little thicker after just doing the facials, not realizing that that's a benefit. But it certainly is not going to cure someone that's completely.
Now, wait, I'm just confused. Is the cryotherapy helping or is it the red light therapy?
So it's more the cryofacial that I just localize that onto the scalp itself. Cryotherapy can help too because of the collagen increase.
Yeah.
Red light can help because it works on a cellular level, so it increases the mitochondrial activity, which are the action parts of the cells. So I have all kinds of treatments to help, but like I said, it doesn't always.
Yeah, no, of course. And tell me about the red light therapy. So then that's also could be separate. That's separate from the...
Yeah. And so that's another treatment I offer. It helps to stimulate collagen production. It's a really good treatment to do for skin tightening. So anyone that has a little loose skin on their knees or their stomach, they come in and try that. It's great for that. It's also great for healing. So if I have someone that comes in with a broken bone, they do whole body cryotherapy, the localized spot treatment, followed by the red light therapy that's going to get the mitochondrial activity increased.
Wow.
To help that bone healing.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we only have, 3.5 minutes left on the show. Kendall Jones, what else about Arctic Blast Cryo do you want our listeners to know about? And of course, about your services?
Oh my gosh, they're awesome. Just try them. Even if you're not in the Mason, Ohio area, you've got to find cryotherapy near you. It's so beneficial for so many people out there and they don't realize it's there. So if you need help with energy or pain, instead of taking medication, try whole body cryo because you never know if it's going to help you or not until you try.
Oh, sounds like a plan. And I want to remind everyone, arcticblastcryo.com. You can go to the website there, and there's also a waiver you can fill out. Do you offer like an initial consultation for someone? How does that process work if they're interested in coming in?
So we usually schedule an appointment and they come in and we usually just do your first session while you're here. I have introductory prices. We go over all the treatments. So I make sure that you get that one-on-one chatting so that you learn what's going to be best for you.
Oh my goodness. And then also I just clicked on your Instagram page. So I actually could see some of the pictures. Now I can see what it looks like. Oh my, I see whole chamber. Yes, yes. Wait, is someone drawing blood? What is that?
Oh, I do have a nurse practitioner that uses one of my rooms here that does IV fluids. She does wellness injections, Botox fillers, microneedling. She helps with the wellness too. She's awesome.
See, I didn't know that. Tell me more about the other side of this. This is great. So you have a whole wellness center here too.
Yeah.
What other things she does? So Botox, you mentioned, like fillers
fillers, microneedling. She does IV wellness infusions. She does B12 shots, vitamin D shots, lipamino shots. She does all kinds of good stuff.
Amazing.
It's fun.
And what is your address, by the way?
It is 5300 Socialville Foster Road, Suite 130, Mason, Ohio, 45040.
Beautiful. Guys, reach out, go online, Arctic Blast Cryo, and that's also on the social media. Just search that and reach out. And it's exciting that you're here. And Kendall, I really didn't realize all the benefits of this collagen producing, losing weight. Hello, for pain. I've heard of it for pain and for injury, but this is awesome. So, yeah, you got to get over to Mason, Ohio. Check her out. Reach out. Tell her we sent you. And in the meantime, don't forget arcticblastcryo.com. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Same here. You have a fantastic day. Hopefully we'll connect again.
You too. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.